Wednesday, September 10th to order. And I will ask Diane to do the roll call.
And trustee Fluger,
Present.
trustee Hess,
Present.
trustee Hummel,
Present.
trustee Radke,
Here.
trustee Saylor.
Here.
And trustee Zerflu.
Grouchy's here.
After our Pledge of Allegiance, I will ask you to stay for a moment of silence afterwards, not only for the service members who have died protecting our country and our freedoms, those that are currently serving. But obviously, I think we've all heard by now that Charlie Kirk was shot for speaking his opinions today. So there's that and a school shooting. So just a moment of silence for them and their families today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Into number 4, motion to approve the consent agenda. A, meeting minutes of August 13th, 2025 board meeting. B, monthly bills and previous month's journal entries.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Radke,
I'll second.
second by Fluger. Anybody have anything to discuss or pull out of either one of those? No? Hearing nothing, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That one carries. And public comment. I know we have some individuals here from the discussion later on. I think for everybody on the table, I think with the preference would be if they have something to say, do it around that time, just so we're keeping the topic all relative to the same time. President's report, I don't have anything. So we'll go to commission committee reports. Airport Commission, trustee Zerflu.
We're gonna have a second meeting of the month on Friday, 8 o'clock at the terminal building. You want to come over, we're gonna be approving the budgets based on 2025 equalized value. Port Edwards is 6.52% contribution percentage, because we now are at 200.3 mil. And we passed the city of Inclusive, we're all up on top of them. They're at 191.9. So our share at 6.52 is set at $9,309. Inclusive will be at 89.24. Rapids, of course, has got 56.32% of the contribution at 80,416. And the town of Grand Rapids has 30.91% at 44,134 for a grand total 142,763.83, excuse me. And the equalized value was $3,073,496,400 total of the 4 municipalities. Otherwise, the budget itself will in 25, I do believe, if I'm reading this page correctly, is $353,533. This year will be at $438,033. And our income raised has gone up quite a bit. And that's because of the influx of jet traffic, fuel sales. And most, I don't know the percentage, but most of the jet traffic now is because of Sand Valley. That's it.
Any questions for the Airport Commission? No, thank you. Police and Fire Commission.
Good evening. We met Monday, the 8th this week. Annual statute annual election of TFC officers, and the secretary voted in was Thomas Card, vice president was Drew, and chairman was me. We have, if you remember last month, we had 2 fire department applicants, one of which we rejected due to a criminal history issue. The second one, this meeting this week, We received interview reports and background reports, all good. He now moves on to the last phase, which is a medical and drug test. And then we just received another applicant last week and he was reviewed and criminal history looked good. So he's gonna move on to a background phase. Other than that, current fire department roster is at 20. And that's all I got. Any questions?
Any questions for Chairman Stewart? No, thank you. Plan Commission, we met last night, about the one property on Westport, but that we are bringing to next month's meeting, to discuss as a board. So just because of the close proximity of the meeting, so that will be coming next month, but otherwise we don't have anything else scheduled, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We'll move on to D, Public Works Committee.
We met on August 27th. I guess the major things are, or is the, trash and recycling service contract. After a discussion and a presentation by both companies, we have moved it to the board for final vote.
Trustee Saylor, do you want them to say their public comments now, or do you want to make the motion first? Looks like both. What, two?
Well, I mean, I can make the motion and then we can have discussion as part of that.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. So I will make a motion to move Harder's 8-year bid to the village board for approval.
So motion made by Saylor,
I'll second it.
second by Radke.
So in your packets, you have both. Well, you did. I don't know if it's still on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have some.
I got the summary sheet. I did not do the.
Okay, there's a summary sheet in there explaining the benefits, the costs. So I would like to go off the board if I could, and if you guys would have anything that you'd like to say. Prior to us taking a vote.
Thank you. My name is Nick. I'm with Harder's Disposal. We're a family-owned trash recycling company. Currently, we service over 160 municipalities. It's my job to pester all the DPWs and clerks and administrators in all the cities and villages and towns for opportunities. So Ben was kind enough to give us this opportunity. What we presented to the village is virtually your exact same service that you have currently with no changes. We're gonna keep the day the same, the recycling day the same. We're gonna provide all brand new carts for trash and recycling. And with the bulk pickup, the way it is currently. I mean, there would be an information packet that's attached to every cart, should we get the choice tonight. There would be an information packet, giving all our contact information, where the facility is, the calendar that would be included in there. And along that with me is the general manager of that facility, came tonight. His name is Chris Sadler.
Yeah, so I'm Chris. I'm the general manager for the Wisconsin Rapids location. I've been overseeing it for the last 2 years. We've been here since April of 2023 when we acquired Country Disposal, small little operation. We had 3 trucks and 3 drivers, and in the last 2 years, we've grown it to have 8 trucks and 10 employees. And we've actually acquired a number of employees that used to work for Advanced Disposal and are very familiar with the Port Edwards route, and they would love the opportunity to be able to service your community once again.
Questions? Go ahead, trustee.
What size carts would you be replacing them with?
95 gallon.
Is that what we currently have? Thank you.
Any other questions for haters?
No, I have one for Eric.
Go ahead.
How often are these costs reviewed during the 8-year contract?
I'm assuming that they're, reviewed every year because the price has to go on your property tax bill.
Every year?
I'd also like this management to say some stuff too, like,
Cool.
Madam President, village trustees. I do appreciate the opportunity to speak to you guys tonight, on behalf of WM. WM has been around since 1968 and it's viewed as a large corporation, but at its core, it's a local hauling site with the backing of a nationwide company. And what I mean by that, we have locations in every state. And what that gives us is a larger sample size as the largest company that works towards sustainability. And we have a responsibility to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward in every situation. We've got the service infrastructure to support the local Wisconsin Rapids site. All the trucks have what's called smart truck with the cameras in them. Just to prevent if there's a gas can, a battery, something in there, it can be identified. The fleet, when I talk about the backing of a nationwide company, these are people that live in this community, that live and work here. And they were given, our trucks are 1 year old. They were given a refreshed fleet, so we don't have fluids on your streets. You're getting the highest quality of assets that we can provide. And we put together a bid that I feel gives the residents of Port Edwards a good fit for continued service without the hassle of changing haulers. From a price standpoint, the monthly was 6 cents different per home per week, which $583 a year. But the bulk item being the biggest point of contention, which there is a cost involved with that. So, I mean, you're talking about some people, guys in the truck that are picking it up once a month. What we did include in our rate is opportunity for a spring and fall cleanup. There's other communities that do this same thing, where we provide no additional charge containers at a mutually agreed location, mutually agreed time. You pick the date for spring, you pick the date for fall. We provide the containers and residents can come by and drop them off in there. That keeps the appearance of the village with an improvement without having couches on the boulevards, the dressers, whatever it is that's on the list for that month. That would not be on the boulevards of the village and can be collected at no additional charge during the spring and fall events. If someone were to want it picked up, in my proposal, I put billable through the village, but we have the ability to bill the resident directly without involving the village. But it would be $30 per item that's billed directly to the resident. So there's no additional charge for the village, and the residents that are utilizing the service would be paying to have that item removed. Another option that we came up with that was included in the proposal is a voucher ticket that we would provide. And if they wanted to take it directly to Cranberry Creek, which is, I mean, we're 10 miles away from you right here, they could take it there for $10. So from a monthly standpoint, all things are pretty close. Like I said, we're 6 cents less, but the bulk item is the bigger piece. And our goal was to remove items from the boulevard within the village and utilize the spring and fall cleanup.
Any questions for waste management? From anybody? So I have a question. On the spring and fall, it says that 3 30-yard roll-off containers at each event. So is there a limit on how much each person, or is it just we fill it up and once it's full, then we're
Oh, we've had.
done?
we've had, there's no limit. We've had people make 2 trips at some
Multiple
of the
trips.
other events.
Okay.
But I put 3 on there because just gauging the size of the community, 3 should be enough to cover it. I've had communities that are quite a bit larger that use 3. I just wanted to be sure that I had everything covered, so we weren't short.
Okay, so it's not like we're limited to a certain amount of items or one trip through.
Correct. The only limit would be the type of items. I mean, it's just regular, I mean, obviously no hazardous, no electronics, but
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Comment, I guess.
Okay.
You know, Waste Management has been, we've worked with them in the village and you guys have done a great job. One of the reasons I'm proposing for the change, the big reason, I know you guys are 6 cents less, but the bulk pickup is really the big issue. I even went down my street here, last trash day, and I seen at least 7 items on my block, just not all the way 4th Street, just the upper 4th Street, that were bulk pickup outside of the containers. So, you know, we do have bulk pickup, and I know the event is a great idea, but not many people in our community have, some don't have the ability to take trucks or couches or something down on those events because they don't have the transportation of a trailer and whatnot. And the other thing was, I guess that, you know, I don't have a problem with people that if you're gonna put out extra stuff, that we would bill them. In your contract, the village would have to bill them. I know that you say that you have the capability of doing it through Waste Management, but I wouldn't want to put that onto our staff to have to bill people for items. I know that sometimes we have a number of shutoffs for water services because our water bills aren't paid, which gets to be cumbersome for our staff and our to shut off the waters, to hang slips. And I guess what it came down to me was the bulk pickup. So that's why I'm in favor of the change. I have nothing else.
Anybody else? Okay. Do you have anything to add to that?
No,
Okay.
I think, I'll just make one comment, I guess. I appreciate both you guys, just like I said at the public, works meeting, for coming and discussing it. I think it does come down to the bulk, and it's just because, you know, if I have a couch and I miss that event, now I gotta find a place to keep it for 6 more months before I take it up to the thing. So really what it's coming down to is the quote is as the same as what we've had. Not saying that Waste Management can't come back after 8 years, you know, it is what it is, but so we got the motion on the table and however you'd like to do it.
Anybody else have an opinion? Want to share their their thoughts? Trustee Zerflu?
Yeah, I'll just repeat a little bit about what I had at the committee meeting. Waste Management, I have received no complaints in all the years I've been on the board, and all the years I've been here, or including you guys are here when I was chief of police too, also. He has explained this bulk thing. He can build this right out of the company. It's not gonna be any extra work. And then to trustee Radke, when he said he had 7 different piles on his street. We had 3 or 4 about a month ago, and 3 of them were with the sign free on. So they weren't out there for bulk pickup, so we gotta be able to differentiate. I have no reason to go elsewhere. Harder's very good company, my research that I did on them. So it's a matter of why are we getting rid of Waste Management? And I plan on voting no to the motion. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Well, I'll say something about the bulk pickup. That's great for people that live in the village, that annual kind of thing. We have people on the lake that are 12 miles away. And bringing that all the way to the village is cumbersome enough, even if you do have a truck. So that just wouldn't work very well right now, one. Two, when you have a service that you're providing, citizens or consumers, and all of a sudden now you tell them, well, no, now you gotta start paying for it. That's taken something away from them and leaves a pretty bad taste in their mouth. So I don't think that's a really good solution, given, given the tight budgets that we have and so forth. Take something away that we have an opportunity to continue as is. So that's my point of view.
Then the motion reads, sorry, I gotta get it out. To approve the 8-year contract with Carter's for trash and recycling services. Motion was made by, yep,
Call for roll call vote.
okay. Motion was made by Sailor, second by Radke. Can you please do the roll call vote, please?
Trustee Fluger,
Aye.
trustee Hess,
Aye.
trustee Hummel,
Aye.
trustee Radke,
Aye.
trustee Sailor,
Aye.
trustee Zerflu,
Nay.
and President Mattson.
Aye. Okay, so that one passes.
Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for their past business as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Putting all the work into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we discussed two more things at the Public Works meeting. One was the paint, about possibly redoing the fog line and railroad. Well, we have to do the railroad, with the new pavement, stuff like that. So that's gonna be happening. And then I wanted it in the minutes because we've received a few phone calls about Range Line Road repair, which comes up every month, every other month, every quarter. Ben did reach out and get a quote, and it is to the tune of $72,000 to, make slight repairs. That's not 100%. It's cover code. It's to cover it. So it'd be a matter of time before we're back in there. So those are decisions for Range Line Road. If we are concerned about that down in the future, that we can discuss more in depth. But we did have some people that questioned it. We did find a bill or a bid, and, there it is. So that was about it. The next meeting is Wednesday, September 17th at 4:30.
Wednesday. Random.
Yeah. Back to back.
4:30 is this one? I just wanna make sure I write it down. Right. Thank you. Moving on to Parks Committee.
Yeah, so the Parks Committee met on, August 18th. I was unavailable because I was, hosting or chairing a Lake District meeting in the room behind me, but we had a very capable group of, trustees there, to, move things forward along with Mr. Martinson. Justin Fluger was there, trustee Sailor was there, President Mansell was there, as well as Mr. Martinson. And I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Martinson to share kind of what happened with the gentleman who came and shared design and color schemes for the new playground equipment. So I will turn it over to you, Mr. Martinson.
Tim Newgard came from MWP Recreationals. He's the same gentleman that's done rapids, different areas around the area. Presented his plan for the Ripple Creek playground equipment, which was included in the legacy grant dollars that the village has received. So there was some concern on some colors, so we did change a few colors back and forth, and we did move that on for next step of approval. There's another grant through MPWP that we'll be applying for that will also help lower the price of this down. When it's all said and done, the grant was $500,000. The playground equipment with the underlayment and everything, like I said, is good, is right now at 487. The grant, once we get it, should come down a little bit, so I'll keep everybody updated on that. That's all I have.
Good, and do you want to share about any parks update or bike trail update?
No, well, bike trail has been completed, no issues there. The splash pad's gonna be closing down on this Monday. That was a good year, nothing went on there. We're down to about 4 or 5 more rentals at the parks. The next event that, we don't other than advertising, no cost, no value, is the trunk or treat, which will be in October. So, that's all I have at this time.
Thank you. There was no correspondence. We have not set a date for next meeting yet, pending, reason to have a meeting.
Meeting. Okay, any questions for Parks? Sorry. Nope. We'll move on to public safety.
All right, we met on August 27th as well. Pretty standard, straightforward meeting. Did give an update from Chairman Stewart on the PFC and the activity that they had. Obviously, you gave an update even further, where you're at with another candidate already being added. Fire department did have their general updates. They are way over on call volume from last year to this year. Large majority of those being EMS calls. I think for record, they hit their 200th call in November of last year, and we're already hitting it in September right now.
It goes 2:15 this morning.
Yeah, so, quite a bit of volume, and most of that being EMS, so, good on that. They did have a community CPR class. I didn't know there was anyone there. It looked from the pictures I saw that there was decent attendance.
There was, I can't remember the exact number, but there was a,
20,
yeah,
thereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like it was real well received, went over well. I don't know if they're planning on doing that again. But I think that would definitely be a beneficial thing for the community. Police department, pretty much business as usual. Little extra patrols on Fort and Seneca. That seems to be the bypass between Nakusa and Rapids. Traffic volumes are a little higher than normal.
When are they gonna start?
What's that?
I haven't seen a squad car out there in days.
Must not be out there at the right time. I'm going by what's told. I'm not sitting out there with a lawn chair watching for.
No, I'm
call
not
lights.
either.
Yeah.
Squad cars, I see your county and state patrol.
Oh, okay.
Let you know.
Well, it's good that the county's getting in on that too, so. Other than that, business as usual. We will be meeting again on September 24th at 4:30 PM. Any questions?
questions for public safety? No? Okay. And then on to planning, legislative and property committee.
The planning, property and legislative committee also met on August 27th at 5:30. One of the discussion points was an update on the seawall on the Nepco Lake development on Sunset Point. The attorney is drafting a letter to send to the area residents and the HOA. Hope to have that letter finalized by mid-September. Any update on that, Ben?
The letter has been submitted.
Okay.
Sent it.
Sent out to residents?
Yep.
Yep. I took the opportunity to go out there and look at it. It is in pretty rough shape, so, there's a line that's being drawn that the, public utility, the vehicles will not be able to go past, because it is unsafe. If anybody hasn't seen it, they probably should.
Can I make a comment about that? In addition to sending it to the residents, the letter was sent to the two directors of the HOA, which happen to be the two developers. And there's a stalemate about what's gonna happen, waiting for the developers to come to the table and have that discussion. And so I fully support the need to avoid bringing any vehicles down there from any of our EMS or safety kinds of things. It's just a very dangerous situation, and I fear for kids who come and visit their grandparents and stuff down there too. But we're unfortunately stuck because residents can't do anything until the HOA, the directors are willing to have the discussion and figure out what to do.
So,
I implore you to look back at past meeting minutes from the Rick Pate. When he was the engineer here, I would say probably 10-ish years ago, because that was a point of contention back then. And he brought that up and there was discussions and stuff. I don't remember what the details were, but I would look to see what was promised between the developer and or port and or the, the residents out there. Not knowing that, you might be going, doing double duty on some of the same things. So there might have been some promises made to fix that may not have happened.
Yeah.
So I implore you to look.
Yeah. this letter was just basically stating to the homeowners out there that no emergency vehicles will go. It's unsafe for county or village vehicles to go down there, pick up garbage or anything.
I just think the HOA directors need to be aware of that too. Thank you for that. I won't go into a whole bunch of detail, but the other side of the seawall also had breached and the residents fixed it. There's now a lawsuit between them and developers, and I think things are being stalled until that lawsuit gets settled. But, and I believe they're aware of what you mentioned. I think somebody told them about it, but I will look into that myself. Thank you very much.
The next item that we discussed is we've been dealing with an enhanced wake ordinance, possibility of doing an enhanced wake boat ordinance on Nipco Lake. Eventually, if that gets passed, there's a whole process that has to happen. It has to go through 2 of the 3 municipalities that are on the lake. It will need to come to the board to get approved. So the recommendation of the committee is to at least give the board time and opportunity to review the information that we've been going through in an organized fashion, to ask questions in a organized committee of the whole or board meeting, special board meeting.
I was actually just gonna suggest, when you were done talking about it, maybe doing a committee of the whole, because that way if we have somebody come in and speak, it's to all of us, not just a committee, because then everybody can ask the questions instead of just playing this circle
Correct.
game. So I think that would be the wisest.
That is the idea of this, on the meeting minutes, is to bring it to the board so the board can hear all of the information. We're trying to gather enough information to make an intelligent decision on what we want to do on an enhanced wake ordinance. And because we're going to be repeating it when it comes to the board for approval.
Correct. And then I know at one point there was talk about town of Saratoga, Grand Rapids, has contacts been made?
Contact has been made.
Okay.
We're going to be able to discuss with Saratoga the process that's being used and a little bit about what ballast boats do and what the issues are, and to get comments from them without a motion to do anything at this point, but at least we'll have a good awareness of what the comments are from Saratoga.
And that date is
September 15th.
15th. And the plan is to have, trustee Hummel's gonna be there and I'm planning on attending also.
Okay, I think just for our sake, for the village's sake, because I know that this ordinance, whatever ordinance, can't go forward without one or the other of
Correct.
those other 2 municipalities. So I think we need to really figure out if they're gonna participate, because if they're not gonna participate, I don't want the village to keep spinning its wheels,
Correct.
bringing in people to talk or having further discussions on it if it's clearly not gonna go anywhere. So if one of them would say, hey, we're interested in going this road, I think that would be when we can change our tactic and focus, whichever.
Okay.
I do have a different point of view about that, because that means what we're doing is giving another municipality the power to make a decision that was sent to Port Edwards to first decide, being the largest municipality on the lake. We have an opportunity, if we decide not to do it, then it gets done. We don't have to involve another municipality. If we decide to move it forward, I think that has some influence on another municipality, that what Port Edwards does, and I don't want to give up that leadership position simply because somebody else, without the knowledge that the committee has gone through 4 months of listening and learning. I don't want to give that away to people who haven't had the opportunity to have a in-depth understanding of the lake. So I'm great to hear their comments. I suspect is very similar to what 2 Wood County board committees that I've talked to in terms of comments and so forth. I think it gives a pretty good idea of where a committee or a group would stand on the issue, but I don't think it's really a great idea to let Saratoga or the Grand Rapids decide for us what the Port Edwards thinks is best. That's just my point of view.
The plan of the committee is to go to Saratoga and give them feedback, get feedback, and then we're going to hopefully plan a committee of the whole to review all of the information, because we're gonna need to do that at some point in time.
Correct.
If we move it out of committee, when we move it out of committee. And then we'll, because otherwise it'll take up this whole meeting.
Like it could tonight.
Yes,
We're gonna leave it alone.
it has taken up a lot of committee time. So enhanced wake is still on the agenda and still active. DMI, do you want to give an update on MRD's discussion?
So last week, Thursday, myself, Chairman Hess, two representatives from MRD, and Theo, who is a groundskeeper for DMI, toured the property to show MRD Group, that's who's taking down the Rapids Mill, to show them the site. We got approval from Stacy from DMI to do that, and a conference call that we put together. They took a good walk of it, toured the building, got an idea. On Tuesday morning, this past Tuesday, we had another Teams meeting with MRD Group and DMI Stacy. And she let them have, if you guys don't remember, when they issued the permit to us, they had the plan, the plans, how they're gonna keep the mill there and tear down, whatever you want to say, the maintenance shop and things like that. She did release those plans to the MRD Group. So they actually see what plans that they originally were submitting to us for demo in different areas. So it was about a 2-minute meeting, but at least DMI released what their plans were to the MRD Group to start looking at what all they really wanted to be tore down and removed. I think right now there's a tentative plan in another week or two to have another meeting with the MRD Group to, with DMI to see what, after they see the plans, to get an idea together. I'm also going to reach out to Jason from Wood County, from the administration building that's owned by Wood County, to see if we can't have the same tour with permission from Jason and Jason there in the MRD Group to walk that administration building, to have them get some ideas on what it actually would be to take down, just so that there's some reference back to the Wood County, but need permission from Jason to even do that. So I'll be working with Jason in the next week or two to also work on that too.
They also reach out to Ruben, the facilities manager. I think he's one that has actual direct control of that building. So if Jason doesn't put you in touch with him, let me know and I will.
Okay, thank you.
Just have one additional comment. That was the first time I've toured that mill facility, and I worked there for about 10 years. About half of that building is gone. It's not removed, but it's down. So I was surprised that there was a fair amount of, well, knocking it down. There's still equipment back there. There's trees growing up. It's a mess. It needs to be finished, but there was a fair amount of demolition, at least knocking the building down. So I was, there's a lot less than I anticipated to be demoed from what I had.
It's easy to tell where the demolishers left seed in it.
Yep. They right where the equipment's sitting, broke down.
And you're on the right trail, talk to Jason. He's the, because to talk to, maintenance and those people, gotta have Jason's approval. And when you meet with him, let me know and I'll go up there too. As your county board.
Number 10, on the agenda for the committee meeting was a possible motion to update village ordinance number 1. So I would make the motion to approve the update to village ordinance number 1, general government. You have it was sent out, Ben sent the whole ordinance out.
Did you make the motion?
I just made the
You're
motion.
making, okay, we need a second. Second by Zerflu. Okay, sorry. Now go ahead.
So discussion. Comments.
I have a discussion, I guess. Is your committee going to go through all of the ordinances? Is that the plan? Here you got, further in the agenda, chapter 2, chapter.
Correct.
Why, I guess my question is, why are we doing that? I mean, when I first started on the board, we had a village administrator that went through all our ordinances and changed a lot of whose boss was who and who was this and that. And I think it's repetitive. I mean, I understand one of the reasons I thought we were doing this was because we were asking the fire department for fees, which is a different ordinance. But to go through all of them, I think that for one, I know it's time consuming, and it's been done recently. So I'm kind of wondering why are we trying to reword ordinances? And it seems like every time we get new people on the board and no disrespect, Rick, but we're revisiting these ordinances. And I don't know if I mean, they've been in place for years and years, and now all of a sudden some of the changes that I reviewed in this one were simple things. He changing some words in this ordinance, number one was just changing small, simple, corrections to instead of they, them, and whatnot. So I guess my question is, as far as this motion, I don't have a problem changing some of the wording, but are we gonna go and we're gonna do that through all our ordinances? I have an issue with, maybe that time could be spent somewhere else.
Do you want me to answer that, President Mansell, or do you?
So, I mean, we can. both
I was
do it.
asked by President Mansell on the PLP or PPL committee to go through these.
Because we started at one point when trustee Saylor was chair, he started going through it. Some of the things we had to change because we've changed just,
And there's some errors.
and there's some errors in there. I think there was some liberties taken with some of, they weren't put in right. We'll put it that way, when somebody else was here. But just to make sure that they're updated too. I know there's some things that per state statute or different things just need to be updated. Is a big one. Trustee Zerflu.
I second what you just said. There were more than just a few things that were changed that were never brought to the board or even the committee.
So to answer your question, I was asked by the president to go through these, and we're finding statutes that have changed. We're finding liberties that were taken. We're trying to correct them to current. And we are finding some things. So we were asked to do this.
Okay, so after every review, we have to go through the motion and
Yeah,
accept the
no, but
new,
they'll come through
wording.
committee to the board.
So the
Okay,
whole chapter instead of just issue by issue. I
Yeah.
think it was just easier to go by chapter as well versus if you went through everything in chapter one, there would have been 16 motions, right? So it's
Yeah.
just clean up the whole chapter and review the whole chapter. I think
Okay.
it's easier that way.
So we're doing, yeah, she's correct. We're doing chapter by chapter.
okay,
Anything else?
answer to my question.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, for chapter one. Rick, did you need to add anything for chapter one?
No, it's approved as written. So if we vote, we can vote.
Okay. Okay. Motion by Hess, second by Zerflu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That one carries.
Okay, the next motion was village ordinance number 5. That was also sent out by Ben. This included the changes that Chief Lease put in, and the last change was the recreational burning change. So that's why it was held up on the last board meeting. So I'll make a motion to approve the updates to village ordinance number 5, fire department.
Motion by Hess,
I'll second.
second by Fluger. Discussion. Trustees are Fluger.
What was the concern about recreational fires?
The distance, go ahead.
Correct. So the distance, the setback distance from both properties and from boundary lines, as well as an enhanced definition of what an acceptable container was.
Thank you.
They cleaned it up a little bit because there was an actual citation out there.
Anything else for chapter 5? Do you have anything else to add?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay, we have a motion by Hess, second by Fluger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
That one carries. Okay, anything else out of,
No, we are gonna go on to chapter 2. So we will be reviewing that last time, and the building permit was issued for 160 Market Ave, and the repairs have started. Anything to add, Ben? No. Okay. Our next meeting is September 17th at 5 p.m.
thank you. All right, FHM.
Okay, yeah, we met September 4th 4 o'clock. One of the biggest things that we went over, there was, actually 3 people that put in for our town, for our website. And we brought it down to 2 because of cost. Trustee Fluger and Trustee Hummel, did some groundwork and footwork and talked with employees as well as people with the sites. And we've decided to come up with a motion to accept a 3-year contract with Town Web for the website starting January 1st, 2026. And I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Radke, second by Hess. Any questions?
Where are they from?
They're also doing the Lakes website, and
Town Web is
their
there.
town, it's called Town Web. And the reason that we decided to go with them, one was in their quote, their quote included taking the stuff that's in our existing website and transferring it over to the new website. The other one that we had that had a similar price, I think it was within a couple $100, did not have that feature. So it would actually cost to do that, to move it. And maybe Mr. Fluger, Trustee Fluger, did some footwork on that and it's a little more tech knowledgeable than I am. Do you?
No, I did some checking and when I found out how you guys are gonna go, and you made the right choice. I just wanted to see what your reasoning was and you answered my questions.
As far as
Well,
where they're
thank you,
from, we don't
Trustee
know.
Serflo.
From Town Web.
From Madison.
Madison, okay. But they have quite a bit of history and footprint in central Wisconsin. They do the town of Grand Rapids, they do Village of Beer, and they do the Lake District. So they have a foothold within the area and they're very active and very personable and very willing to help. And the big thing that Lon mentioned was the data migration from old website to new website. Municipal Impact was willing to put us a quote together, but we didn't know how long that was gonna take and we didn't know what it was gonna be. Town Web was very upfront and they said everything that was gonna be included. How responsive they were gonna be, what they were gonna be able to help us with. And my biggest thing was I wanted to make sure that Kim was available to see what it looked like, and her comment was that this is easier than what we're using right now. And that's the biggest thing, as the person that's gonna be inputting 98% of the website information. I just wanna make sure she was happy with it, so. Looks to be very, very straightforward, very user-friendly, and should be what the village needs at this point.
Okay. Go ahead.
My only concern is the tech support for $600 a year. I find it kind of hard to believe that the tech support is when something fails, but they are hosting and maintaining it, and that cost is the same as that cost. It's like buying $100,000 truck and then buying $100,000 warranty that goes with it. That's my only concern. $600 isn't that much, but I don't see a lot of website companies that have that as a line item, that the tech support, because what are you gonna call? Website's down? If it's down, that's part of the hosting. If it's down, it's getting upgraded, that's because of the maintenance. So just moving forward, after your 3 years or whatever, maybe look at that. Or see what kind of issues you have, year 1, whatever, and see if it's justifiable for the 600. That's it.
Anything else? Better than this. Okay.
I don't know if we should go with them if they got Grand Rapids too, because I know the chief of police. There.
All right. We don't even remember this.
We're on.
Accept the 3-year contract with Town Web. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed.
Yeah.
That one carries.
Okay, last thing was, that we discussed was, the budget process, and Mr. Martinson sent that out to everybody. He sent out a schedule on how, we're gonna be starting with the budget process. So if you have any questions, you can direct them his way. Other than that, our next meeting will be October 2nd at 4 o'clock.
Second and fourth. Okay. Moving on to number 8, unfinished business from previous meetings. Does anybody have anything? Hearing none, new business. Oh,
Well, isn't that usually after? Oh, never mind. I'm good.
You're good for new business and old business?
Yep.
Okay,
So I have a comment, but it's not business necessarily.
You can go to trustee comments on number 12.
yep.
I didn't. Correspondence.
It's coming up.
You're on the, that's committee.
Oh, sorry. It's on, sorry, wrong agenda. Cool, I'll wait for that.
I'll be wait for that.
I'm
Okay,
gonna do the second.
Thank you.
okay. Report from village administrator.
Just, we're going on about a year of this, I guess we can call it the Dwayne program, the pilot program, whatever you guys want to call it. I know during the FHR, I talked to Chairman Radke, and he's gonna be reaching out to the village employees. Every year we always reach out to all the employees to see if they got any concerns, and obviously with my position too. You know, if people don't want to come to me, Lon's gonna reach out and discuss that if there's any concerns. That also goes back with you guys as board members, if you have any concerns of, you know, I'm not perfect, I'll be the person to admit it. If you guys see anything you want to change different that I'm doing, please let Lon know or let me myself know so that we can try to keep moving forward in the right direction. So other than that, we're busy in the budget season. Diane's doing, like always, a great job. We're getting things organized. We're meeting with department heads in the next 2 weeks. Committee meetings will be discussing the budget. Meetings of whole are set. 6 PM is what the time is for those meetings. And again, the door is open for Diane and myself. It's a lot easier if you guys come down. If you have a question, we can have the information in front of us, and, you know, not at every meeting do we bring all the information. So please be open with us, and please let us know ahead of time so we can have the proper information. That way, if you hit us on spot, we don't have it. You know, we both like to be the exact proof of what you're asking, if it's a line item, where the money's going, so we can have that. So please work with us both on that. Other than that, the budget moving in from this year looks good, right? I mean, we've got a few things coming in from the departments, and obviously that's when we meet with the department heads. That gives us the fourth quarter projections. When Diane does the third quarter, we start putting those projections in, so we see what, you know, the hot topic is. We come to budgets, cash carryover every year, right? And so let's try to be upfront about the last year. There was concern what that is, why it is. Obviously, we did it last year. It worked out. We have a good budget, so we're definitely looking at that same numbers moving forward. You know, we couldn't really come up with an exact name with that reserve fund, this and that. You guys all remember as a hot topic, but we're looking to hopefully put the same number there and move forward with a good budget again. So, but just let us both know if you have questions so we can answer those. So that's all I have.
I'm gonna state the obvious, Lon. Just make sure when you talk to people, probably a good idea to start out with, hey, what do you like, what's going on? So you get the good stuff and get feedback to Ben about, hey, keep doing this stuff. And then also ask if they have any concerns or whatever, but it also frees them up to be more candid if you give them an opportunity to say what they like, as well as if there's anything that comes up. So,
Thank you.
because I think there's probably a lot they were gonna say is going well.
And as well as, I've had a couple employees over the years come up and talk to me, even after not being president anymore. They do have that right. They can't funnel them to any particular group or position. So just as everybody knows it.
Okay. Anything else, Ben?
Nope.
All right.
I guess just one other comment that I was gonna make, and I was gonna put on our trustee comments, but usually I just meet with them casually. I tell them if anybody wants to meet with the FHR or any board member, that they should reach out to us. If they have written concerns or want to be anonymous, we can talk to them about any of their concerns. Usually never had any concerns. The only thing is I like to keep them in the know too of what we're doing or what we can offer or what we can offer them as employees. So I think we do a fairly good job of that, but you know, a lot of times they just hear what's going on after the meeting and it's kind of just pushed out there. So I think it's always a good idea to interact with our employees. And if you do have comments or anything like that you want me to ask them, please send me a message or give me a holler.
We did have somebody, Diana Jacobs, join online just now. That's what that file was.
Oh. Okay.
Do you have any comment? Does she have any comment? Did she type anything? See that? Okay,
Yes, planning to listen in.
sounds good. Right at the end of our meeting, we're at number 11 for report from clerk treasurer.
Okay, I have nothing today.
And you have nothing today. Okay. That was exciting. Number 12, trustee comments. I know Okay,
Just to bore you at our county meeting in August. The new green book came out and all the other Wisconsin County Official Directory packed with a lot of information, but I just want to, on employment growth statewide. The counties from Marathon through Juneau and Adams County, I'm gonna bore you with a few statistics. The 5-year job growth plan percentages, 2019 to 2024. This is why things are kind of not moving as they showed in the job market. Adams County was the only positive job growth, 0.4%. Not even a percent. You go down to Juneau County, 1.6% in the negative. You go down to Marathon County, 1.6% negative. You go over to Portage County, negative 2.3%. And this will make you all feel good. Wood County, negative 6.5%. And that's not that hard to get why, what's happened up and Consolidated, what happens down here, and the job growth, just, the jobs are just basically leaving the area. They seem to be going down more now towards southwest Wisconsin. Lafayette County was up 8% positive. And anyway, the state average was positive at 1.9%, the median was 0.0%, so. Thought you'd like that. If anybody wants to peruse this stuff, as long as I get it back, I will let you do so. Thank you.
thank you. Anything else?
Yeah.
I know that two of you were wanting to speak. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to share that on August 16th, the Lake District had its annual meeting along with a celebration of 100-year anniversary of the lake. I want to thank President Mansell and Mr. Martinson for being in attendance. The annual meeting was interesting. We were able to this year, for probably the last time, hold their budget for the cost of property owners to what has been the last 3 years. That won't be possible going forward, given some of our needs. We're starting a strategic planning process that will take a look for what we need to do in the next 3 years. And just a heads up, we'll be looking for municipalities as well as Wood County and others to take a look at how we can fund the lake in this proper way to maintain it the way it should be maintained. That's about it. And we also put out a opportunity to have citizens share what they liked about the Lake District, their assessment of what the lake is now, what's important to them, and any concerns that they have. I will say we got 68 responses, which is over half of the residents on the lake, which is a very good number. We use a QR code. And you didn't do it, most people did it afterwards. We also put it up on our website, same QR code, and people were able to respond to that. And it's going to give us a good indication of what the citizens believe is important going forward. And I think there are some opportunities. I have some ideas about how to get more citizen involvement in the village as a result of that as well, which we can talk about going later.
Thank you. It was a good event for as long as I was there.
I'm willing to share the results of the survey with the village as well, because it does talk about whatever's and the other municipalities as well. But I think it was a good way to get the input that we needed to help make a good strategic plan. So I'll make sure that I get that stuff to you also. You can take a look at it if you're interested. Yep.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
So, did Mike Schrader forward you a letter?
Yep.
Gonna read that, or
So that letter, is that legal?
I don't know.
So
I'll
that,
sum it up.
yeah, that letter I received from him, is that legal right now? I forwarded that on to the league.
Oh, you forwarded it.
Yep, he just said it was to me directly. He didn't say anything else.
He sent it to me too. I thought he was gonna be here, but I'll just summarize it. And you guys can take it to grain of salt. So everybody knows Mike Schrader. As of a couple of months ago, 2 months ago, he had like, something happened mentally. He's not in a good place right now. And in that letter, if Ben chooses to read it at some point down the road, he will explain the reasonings behind it. But what it comes down to is the fire department, as of whenever the new group took over, have, the retirees and all the old people that were there for 100 years are no longer a part of that per se. So he's looking at us as a village board, what can be done to help support some of these retirees that have mental health issues, physical issues, and stuff like that. We had a meeting years ago, and some of you guys remember when Dana Duncan was on the board and Jim Sherman was here, and he was talking about some of the hazardous materials that were around his fire department, and stuff like that. Dana Duncan at the time, I think he said that, you know, if there is some sort of cancer that is derived by something that has been found, this, that, and whatever, we will be here to support you. So just like the military veterans and all that other stuff, if you look back, this is hypothetical, we have had Doug Kanowski, Jim Sherman, Bob Baziner's got some stuff going on. Ryan Reese has some stuff going on. Chief Anderson's got some stuff going on. All these deaths, cancer, and mental health issues, and I'm talking brain stuff, I'm not talking just whatever, could have fingers pointed back to what they did for 20 to 30 years. And it is our responsibility, you know, as an employee for the village, I'm assuming there's some kind of insurance or whatever. And when we were on the fire department as active people, we were insured while we were on the site. But I think that's where it stops, when something happens. And if you look at our small group and the amount of deaths and the amount of the same type of health issues or mental health issues, it's kind of, out of 20 people, that's kind of alarming. Now, I would request that more research be done to see if that same kind of stuff is happening in other municipalities because of AFFF homes and all these different hazardous materials that we've all inhaled and done whatever. But getting back to Mike, he's having issues. He had some self-harm things that he was potentially doing. He, you know, it was on Facebook. It's his business to read. So he is sending a letter. I just would like you guys to put that somewhere in your brain to all the people that have left. We might need to think about something, just putting that out there. That's one thing, and that'll probably come at a later date if Ben gets the approval for that. Second, there is, you know, to kind of piggyback on the retiree firemen's. So every other month at the station, we used to have a dinner meeting that was subsidized by the village to bring in those Gordy Kaiser, you know, the Larry Kaisers and all the old guys that look forward to getting out and hanging out and shooting the crap and playing some cards and whatever. We have taken that upon ourselves with no ask to the village. We passed the hat. We made plenty enough money to be able to keep this going. This is at the Switch. It started at 6 o'clock tonight. There is a free dinner. It is a cash bar. We have been doing it all year. We even had the fish fry. But I was asked to invite all you guys, if you guys want to come down and grab a beer, talk to some of the old retirees. There's going to be 20, 30 of them there. If it's not past their bedtime.
Why did you look at me?
Well, you know those people. I mean, we've all talked to those people. We've all shook hands to those people and had plenty of discussions through the years. Those people are down there. Some of the wives, some of the kids are down there, and we are choosing to keep that going for as long as we can keep it going. And it's all privately funded by ourselves. But some of those old people need some help and support also. With saying that, I have a letter that I'm gonna read. And then I'll give it to you guys. Port Edwards Village Board, please accept this letter as formal notification of my resignation from the Port Edwards Village Board effective today at the end of the September monthly board meeting. I was gonna stay on to the end of the month so I could be a part of the upcoming meetings that I'm a member and chairperson of. But that'd be unfair to the residents and you all, as I could be discussing items and possibly making a decision that I would not be around to see through its finality. I originally became interested in serving on the board to make difference in the village and watching my dad through his 16 years of service as well. Many of you may or may not have known that my dad was on the board and a president for, I think, all 10 years. Because times were different back then. Social media and all that aside. So, where was I at? During those first couple of years, the members of the board were set into committees depending on their expertise. At that time, we had a Wood County detective that was the chair of the police and fire committee. We had a county engineer that was the chair of the public works department. We had an HR director at one point in charge of finance and human resources. So on and so forth. In recent years, it's become a popularity contest and people were put in charge to make decisions that they didn't have any knowledge or experience in. When challenged on said decisions by employees or residents with experience, they were silenced and shunned by certain members of the board. None of you here. That turned things, making them personal instead of professional. All of us board members can disagree on many things throughout the year, but the personal feelings should be stripped from any official conversations or meetings. Business is business, but we also be able to look at each other in the eye after votes have been passed. As I've stated many times in the past, all of us are elected by the residents to serve the residents, and none of the decisions that we have to make should benefit any of us elected to the board. During the last few years, I don't believe that statement is correctly true. So after living in this village, graduating from Port Edwards and raising a family here, my family and I have decided to move out of Port Edwards after 44 years due to some of the personal decisions that have been made throughout the years, the increasing cost to live here as shown on my personal property tax bill, each year. I will no longer be a resident of Port within the next couple of weeks as I've already sold my house and I'll be unable to fulfill my term that is up for election this coming April. Serving the public and working with some colleagues, past, present, and during the last 10 years as a member of this board has been an honor and a privilege. I wish continued success for some of the board members and resident of Port Edwards. And then when I walked in here, I also have a little PS that I hand wrote and I said, I think the statue should be moved to Joe's yard. So, with that, I'd like to give you that and that is it. That's all I have.
You miss you, Eric. You didn't always agree, but
Yeah.
you know your shit. Make sure that gets in the minutes.
I would also like to say thank you, obviously with the for sale sign in your yard, kind of expected it at some point. I was not sure when, but you have been a asset to our community and I appreciate it. Again, we didn't agree on a lot of things, especially after the last couple of years, but you are a good board member. You know your stuff, you know the history of it, and I thank you for bringing that to our board. Anything else? Anybody?
No, just thank Eric. Like I said, I've been here with, Eric from the top to the bottom and been good having the board, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, and with that, I'd like to thank Ben, Public Works crew, give them my thanks. Office crew, Diane and Kim, thank you. And maybe we'll see you guys over for a beer somewhere.
I'm gonna say something, I'm sorry. For committee calendars, we have Public Works 9/17 at 4:30, Public Safety 9/24 at 4:30. Parks and Rec is going to be determined. The PLP or PPL, however we say it, 9/17 at 5 and FHR October 2nd at 4 o'clock. With nothing else, I will.
I'll just add one thing here, that nobody knew, Wood County's gonna be building a new jail. So they're gonna try and get it through. This is dated 25 years ago on August 23rd, 2000. First attempt, interesting read, short, sweet, about what they went through back then, and they said it might not be done soon, but it should be done within a few years. Well, 25 years later.
Is there a dollar amount in there? Is there a dollar amount in that?
No. I erased that.
All right,
I believe the original cost in 2000, whatever it was 20.
without objection, adjourned at 8:08.